Assalamu alaikum everyone and very welcome and good afternoon everyone to all participants joining us today and on behalf of NEDAC I would like to thank all of you for taking your time to come and attend this webinar on modern social challenges for kids. And the speaker of this webinar is Faisal Azim Mirza Saab. He is engineer, poet, writer, and author, leading a community-driven initiative by the group of GTA called For Our Kids. Their goal is to raise social awareness among kids, youth, and parents, prepare them to address the modern challenges caused by gender ideology and logic. So you can find Mr. Faisal Azim on the LinkedIn with the LinkedIn handler Faisal Azim. So this is very important topic for today, especially for families, and really because our environment is changing rapidly, and new influences and complex challenges require new awareness. So today's session aims to provide valuable insight into these challenges, while some exploring about the particular or practical solutions for helping the parents, caregivers, and community members. Before we begin the session, I would like to invite Mr. Zubair Mati from NEDAC, President of NEDAC, to share a few words on behalf of NEDAC. Zubair Saab, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. Dr. Alim Saab, thank you very much. Dear alumni community, Assalamu alaikum. And very warm welcome to all participants. On behalf of NED Alumni Canada, I would like to commend the training and mentoring committee for organizing these high relevant sessions on modern social challenges for kids. This topic is not only timely but deeply connected to the well-being of our families and future generations. NEDAC, since its establishment, has grown into a strong and vibrant community of over 950 members across the GTA and beyond, primarily engineers, professionals, and community leaders. However, our vision has always extended beyond professional networking. We believe in holistic development, supporting not only career, but also families, youth, and social well-being. Over this year, NEDAC has actively contributed through professional training sessions such as AI for engineers, project management, and NPP law and ethics, youth mentorship and skill building initiatives, community engagement events and knowledge sharing platform, culture and social programs that strengthen our collective identity. Today session is a continuation of that missions, addressing real-world challenges our children face in a rapidly changing environment. As parents, mentor, and community member, it is our shared responsibility to stay informed, adaptable, and supportive. I would especially like to appreciate our NEDAC member, today's speaker, Mr. Faisal Azim, for taking the time to guide us on such an important subject. I encourage everyone to actively participate in the QA session and make the most of this opportunity. Let us continue working together to build not only successful professionals but also strong families and responsible future generation. Once again, thank you to everyone for joining us today. I would like to pass the mic to our host, Dr. Alim Saab, to take the session forward. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zubair Saab, for your kind words and for representing NEDAC. Now it is a pleasure to just request Mr. Faisal Azim, who actually provide us the information which is very important for us as a parent, as a living abroad, as a community. So we are grateful to have him with us today to share this knowledge and experience on this important subject. So before I hand over the session, I would like to briefly mention about the QA policy. So Mr. Azim actually will inform you during webinar when you can start QA, maybe in the middle or maybe at the end. So this is a total decision by Azim Saab. So participants are welcome to ask questions anytime. But policy is that the best thing is first, Mr. Azim should cover some level of understanding and then he will actually open the door for QA. So now, without further delay, I would like to hand over the session to Mr. Faisal Azim. Sir, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks a lot for giving me the opportunity to talk about the subject that we are going to talk about. So, just to reiterate, I am part of this group called For Our Kids. This is not an organization. This is just a group of parents and community members, and the reason we gave it a name is was just to identify when we take our program somewhere with this name. At least it's easy to understand what we are doing and who is this and what what the program is. So just to give it a name, so we can like for example today we are presenting it. So that just helps us organize things. But this is not an organization, but we are working with many organizations across GTA and outside of GTA, in Canada and even across the border in the USA. So our goal is I'm going to talk about the problem and what we are doing. So our goal is to address the issue for the community at large, not just in the GTA, but across Canada, in North America, and even outside of that, wherever we can. Because the problem I'm going to explain is global, and the solution can also not be just local. We have to, just like we say, we are not living in a village. It's a global village, right? We are not living on an island. So we have to address it that way. However, there is nothing. The information I'm presenting, it's not any social platform. We just want to make sure that our community gets the awareness and they are prepared for the challenges the way they should be, and we want to empower them. So I'm going to present, and I will start with my presentation here. So let me share the screen and let me know when you are able to see it. Can you see it?
Yes, we can see.
All right.
Thank you.
So like I said, For Our Kids is our group's name. The topic of today's presentation is modern challenges, which is focused on some modern social challenges that kids and parents are facing due to the gender ideology that is being promoted in different ways. So I will speak about I will first speak about the problem, then what we found about that, what were our findings, what do we propose, how to address it, and what action we have taken, the initiative that we are working on, and that we are passing on to the community. So what's the problem? Problem is the radical gender ideology, which is sometimes called SOGI. SOGI stands for Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity. It's also called woke, WOKE, in USA and in other parts of the world. This is it's a fancy way of telling the ideology that LGBTQ and pride community uses. So the problem is that this SOGI ideology is propagated across the board as a universal truth. So that supersedes everything else. And it is the way it does is it promotes and it encourages kids to choose anything that they want to be, anything that they would like to or feel like. So kids are told through schools, through media, through all sorts of media, books, um, educational videos or programs or games or movies, animational movies. Most of the animation movies, most of the programs have these kind of themes. Sometimes we realize, sometimes we don't. So what it does is it encourages kids that they want to, maybe whenever the kids have a problem, they can think about becoming something else, trying to be, if you are a boy, maybe you want to try to be a girl and vice versa to solve your problem. In all this, parents are bypassed completely, and their religious values are completely disregarded. This is nothing else, no other value or no other ideology or preference is is giving is given any preference or any consideration while doing this, and you cannot challenge that. If you try to challenge if you want to say that no, don't do this to my kid or without my permission, then you are in trouble. So you cannot do it because if you do that, you are told that this is against the human rights. So you cannot. So parents are not only that they are not told, but if parents find out somehow and they want to interfere in this whole process, then they have to face some consequences. Now, in during all that, the thing is you cannot opt out of what is happening. Sometimes people think that we are talking about sex education or physical education, but this is not about sex education. That is a separate thing, and that is much easier to handle or address because physical education or sex education is limited to some specific classes, a specific subject. You can say that I don't want my kid to be sitting in that class. You can opt out. But what we are talking about, this ideology, is not in a specific class. It's not not taught as a specific subject, but it is embedded in almost all activities and subjects and educational content and other content that is reaching kids, whether they go to school or not. So you cannot opt out. So you have to do something else to address this. And there is no limit. There is no age limit. This is seeping through so many channels and through so many things that even kids who are not yet of the age of not of school going age, they are also affected, and they are also reaching getting all these things. It's coming from everywhere. So an example is, when you go to for example, if your kid goes to swimming or playing something in a city facility, the pride flag is there. The crossing is painted with rainbow. So this is just a small, example of silent brainwashing. And when in schools, kids are asked to do things where the same theme is used and without using the name. Okay. So I actually started talking about how it's happening. So what we found was this is I already mentioned how that it is being done through all sorts of media and anything that has access to kids. Those things are being accessed to promote the ideology. And what is the reason they use is so they do it in the name of diversity, inclusion, freedom, choice, feelings. So they say, well, because you have to have diversity. You are, for example, you are an immigrant, and diverse. You are here because we respect diversity, we value diversity, and we respect inclusion. So in the same name, they start teaching kids all these things, and in a way, it is actually they are actually promoting their ideology rather than respecting the diversity of the other communities and other religions. So these are the fancy words. You cannot say there is any problem with diversity or inclusion or choice or feelings or freedom, but the way they are used, that is only to propagate and enforce one particular ideology that negates all other ideologies and religions and beliefs. Especially all the beliefs and faiths are ignored. And why they say, well, we are doing it is because if you don't do that, there is a lot of bullying in the schools and kids are marginalized because of their thoughts and their gender and their sexual orientation. Um, Even kids who are so young that they are not supposed to be talking about sexual orientation or anything to do with the same subject. They say, well, they are being marginalized. So this, the topic is not age appropriate either. So this is how this thing is progressing. Okay. With all this, why is it working? We have so many things in the community where we have our kids going to learn Quran, they go to Islamic classes. We have so many events happening all year round where there are lectures. In khutbah, we hear about deen and good things and what is right, what is wrong, guna, sawab, all those things. Still, these things work. Still kids fall for it. Even a lot of parents fall for it, and many parents who don't want to, who don't like these things, who understand this is wrong, they don't know how to say that this is wrong, so they eventually end up agreeing with things. Why? Because in this ideology, there is a lot of emphasis on individuality and choice. So when you say, well, everybody has the individual choice, they has a right to choose what they want. Of course, you cannot deny that. But this is so much emphasized that through that the wrong things and in age inappropriate things are being pushed through, and we don't know how to stop that. So, like I said before, kids are encouraged to choose their any gender they want, especially when there are kids who are troubled. For example, kids who are socially isolated, if there are kids who are bullied, if the kids who are who for any reason they are mentally or emotionally unstable or having problem. For example, they are going through family problems or anything like that, and if they are identified by somebody in the school, people who are keeping an eye or an eye on such kids, those kids are especially targeted. And then they are told, well, if you are not feeling good, maybe just because you are in the wrong body, maybe you want to try something else. So a lot of this has happened to people, even people I know, and people who my friends know. So we keep hearing these things. So what happens is they are told that, well, try, you want, maybe try something else, try to be someone else, and then they are given therapy sessions. They are counseled through counselors who are arranged by the school. So it's their preferred counselors. And in during all this, parents are not told. Kids are specifically told not to tell their parents about it. They are said that this is your secret. Just try it. Don't tell it anybody at home. So kids don't tell what they are learning about these things at home, and parents are kept out. But if they find out and they try to intervene, they are they have to face legal consequences. Some parents, one father in BC, I think about 3-4 years ago, he was even jailed because of that. And there are some stories around us in Scarborough, for example, where it was a recent story where when parents tried to interfere, they were kept out. They were said, no, you don't try to interfere. This is the human right. And when they said, well, let us bring our counselor. We have some Muslim organizations. We have counselors who can help. They said, no, we don't want to use any biased counselors. So the Muslim organizations and counselors are kept out, and those who actually support this LGBTQ ideology, they are used in the process. So this is what is happening, and so these are our findings. Okay. Uh, on this screen, there are many examples I've written. I can go through all of them. It will take time, but I can just try to be quick. What picture you see, see the age of the kids. Kids are such a young, tender age, and they are sitting in the laps of people who are transgenders, or they are just. This is called drag queen. Actually, this type of event is called drag queen event, where people dress like mix men and women, so male, female. You can see and you can tell what we are talking about. So when kids see that, they read stories to the kids. So that's kind of a brainwashing of kids that happens in those events, and they talk to kids about things that they are not supposed to. In those events, things happen which are very inappropriate. Like, the dressing is sometimes very, very bad for kids, and sometimes exposing as well. Now, what happens is, there are people sometimes they attend schools, there are special guests in the school, and they talk to kids about different things and incite feelings in them. For example, they would talk about, okay, how are you feeling today? Are you feeling sad? Are you happy? If the kid says, I'm okay, they say, are you really okay inside as well? And they try to tell kids that your inside feeling may be different from your outside feeling. And that's how they incite this kind of feelings. Then similarly, no, I was talking about stories. Like I have a neighbor who told me that his nephew, a very good boy, and he fall for this, and he became a girl. My people, kids in my family sometimes tell me that in their school they have seen this and that hijabi girl who is an openly lesbian, or who doesn't does different things. A young Khatib. This is a story an alim told mentioned in his presentation. I was watching that. Dr. Asif Hirani. He said that he knew a young Khatib in USA. He became a transgender. And similarly, he was in a community, a small community, where 5 or 6 kids became transgenders, the Muslim kids. So if you go to his libraries and you search through the books carefully, you will start noticing themes in those which are tilted towards this ideology. And kids are reading those. Kids are getting those. My own kids sometimes tell me that in our library we found books that had these kind of things. They have a special one time library had an event, a book event where they could buy books, and she said, well, there were so many books, and most of them I saw that they had stories of LGBT type of stories. Similarly, there was one of a kid in my family. She told me in Alberta. She told me, and Alberta is which is very conservative, but there the teacher brought a pride flag in the classroom, and something happened over there. When kids smiled and said something in the ear to each other, he punished them. He said, "Well, my brother is from this pride community, and you are making fun of him, and this and that." Similarly, in Peel school, in Peel region, in grade two, a sister told me that by sister I mean the community member. Um, so she told me that the parents opted out of the sex education, so they didn't want the kids to be in that. But even then, the teacher in some other subject class, teacher brought books with those things, with graphics, and read it, and kids saw that, and parents found out afterwards when it was done already. So similarly, there are in other activities these themes like pride flag. My niece told me that in one of the math class, the teacher asked a question, then she gave a hint, and the hint was actually pride flag. In one class, also in Oshawa, during the when the school ends, they have one whole month of different activities. And one day, teacher told everybody to wear nail polish. Now, the boys, not Muslim, those boys who didn't wear nail polish, kids actually called out and put their name on the board just to say that he didn't participated in this. And then there's a North York girls case which was in news a few weeks ago or months ago. She was a 10-year-old girl who was told like you can be something else, and she had the therapy and counseling and everything, and parents didn't know, and she started having going through these physical changes, and she was she was in such a bad situation that she became suicidal. When she herself realized that something is wrong with all this, so she told her parents, and the parents interfered, and they saved her only because she stood with the parents. The parents were safe. But if at that point she didn't, if she hadn't supported the parents, then the parents would have to face law and go through more problems. So these are some stories. Now, one thing that I want to tell here is there was a case in the court of in the Ontario court, and the government or ministry was asked about, okay, when you say uh, not in curriculum, what does that mean? So the response from the ministry was, not in curriculum means something that kids are not tested for. And they were asked, does it mean that they can be taught those things? And they said, yes, they can be taught, but they will not be tested for. So when you see the posted curriculum and you don't see anything that you don't like, it doesn't mean that they are not teaching it. Teachers are given a lot of authority. They are told that, if for on any subject, if you have to teach something, you can use any available resources. And they are told that when topics like LGBT or sex education, if those topics come up, if any kid asks something related to that, that is the magic moment. The word they used was magic moment. So use that magic moment, and you can use any resources, and you can explain those things to them with detail, whatever your best judgment is. So the teachers who align with these things, who want to propagate this, they have the opportunity to say anything and tell kids anything and show them anything. So these are some examples. Now, let me move forward from this. Now, so I talked about a lot about what's happening, what the problem is, what the issues we are seeing. Now, why can't we address it? So the challenge is that when we try to address this problem, the schools, they are aggressive against people who want to challenge this thing. There were some community members who tried to talk to their schools, and their response was very intimidating. They say, "Well, you are against the diversity, you are against inclusion, you are against human rights, you are against equity and equality." So these kind of things, and parents don't know what to do. So they turn the tables and make you look bad. Why you are even challenging this? So there are school board trustees who wanted to stop these things. They wanted to challenge this thing, and they were punished. They were not only punished and silenced and ignored. Some of them were even kicked out of the board. So it happened to at least two board members that I know. Similarly, any counselor, if they try to talk about it, they have to face consequences. So during all this, and we actually try to talk to many people in the community, outside of Muslim community, to politicians, to lawyers, to schools, so many, and they eventually we noticed that the biggest problem we have is we don't know how to respond to this, which means we don't know how to even talk about it. And when we are told that you cannot talk about it, how to respond? So we didn't have the logic of talking about it. We didn't have the reasoning how to communicate our point of view. Okay, so we decided to do something about it. Uh, Challenges talked about. We actually did work with some, and I won't name that, but we worked with some legal groups for Muslims, and they initially they said that the government is planning to bring up some legislation, but then it was put on back burner, and eventually they said, well, nobody's going to do anything. So if you want to do something, you are on your own. So what can we do? So we know the problem. Now we need to know the solution. Or at least if we don't have a solution, we need to know what we can do to at least save our kids. Remember, saving our kids that means saving others' kids, because if there's fire around you, you cannot be safe. So if you want to save your kids, if you want to save your grandkids, if you want to save your generations, you have to save everybody around you, kids around you, in your neighborhood, in your community, in your family, everywhere, wherever you can. So we have to think about that, and we have to think about it as a social pandemic, where you have to have mass vaccinations to protect yourself and your kids. So what can we do? The best thing we can do is educate ourselves and educate our kids. On the screen, you can see Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, where Section 2A talks about what your freedom is. I will not go through the details. I will just say it gives you the freedom of practicing your religion, and that's your biggest forte. That's what we want to use, and that's what we are using. Now, how to educate ourselves, how to educate our kids, and what else we can do. So before going to the education part, we need to understand that whatever our kids want to say, we should talk to them openly. We should let them say whatever they want to say. They know a lot of things that we don't realize. They have a lot of things in them, and we have to make them comfortable enough so they talk to you openly. Doesn't matter how bad it sounds, let them say it. Never discourage them, even if what they say is inappropriate against our deen or against our values. It's okay. Let them say it. If you don't let them say it, you will not know what to address. And if you don't talk to them openly about everything, everything means everything, no boundaries. If you don't talk to them, someone else is already talking to them about it in different ways. And there's no exaggeration in it. We have seen it so many times. So and if you go to, there are some resources which show actually videos and stories of people of kids and people interacting with them and talking to them of things which which you won't believe, but this is happening. So what else can we do? Number one is talk to the kids. Number two, watch out for kids who are isolated for any reason, whether any physical or mental disability, any social skills. They might be quite by nature. They might not have friends. They might be bullied for any reason. If the kids are socially isolated, they are very vulnerable, especially girls. For some reason, girls are targeted a lot more than boys. I think that's because they are bullied more and by both boys and girls. And of course, we shall keep engaging with the teachers and try to be in the councils and keep saying what we must say. So it makes not a lot of difference, but it makes some difference. So we have tried it, and at least teachers know that yeah, this kids, parents, they are very critical of what they're, and they want to know what they are teaching. So they sometimes they try to be careful. Okay, now out of all these options, everything is what parents have to do. This is what parents will do. We cannot do anything about it. But what we can do about it is help parents educate themselves and kids the way they can actually they can talk to where they can talk in the right way where they have to, and the kids can talk and respond to this challenge when they face it. So what we did was we decided to take the next step and work on this education part. So it means we need to have a narrative. We need to have a narrative which is based on our values, which is based on our Islamic values, and is all at the same time. It's not just telling about guna, sawab, hell or paradise, and what is good or what is bad, because we found that it's not working. When you tell kids about good and bad, guna sawab, this is against Islam and this is according to Islam. People, kids listen to that, they nod, they say yes, but it doesn't register because now kids will only follow when something makes sense to them. And somehow this ideology, the way it is coming to them through these slogans, through different ideas and through the fancy words, uh, this makes more sense to them. So we have to identify and we have to address those things which are making sense to kids, and convey our narrative using the same language, using the same words, and in the same way that it works. So we need to have a narrative for this awareness. So this is our initiative. What we did was we first of all identified what are the ingredients of this issue. Okay, ingredients means, okay, like I said before, diversity, inclusion, bullying, all these things that are used to promote the ideology, those are the ingredients. So we identified those, we listed those, and we said, okay, let us treat each one of them as a topic. And then let us have a detailed discussion on this, and we need to have a logical narrative on each and every topic, exhaust it as much as you can, and have a logic with reason. So there must be reasoning, not just saying good or bad, right and wrong. No, we have to tell them why logically this is wrong, what is logically correct, why we can not agree with something, and why we should agree with something else. So this is what we worked on. And this is what we are calling our social awareness education, which is based on dialogue with kids, interactive discussion with kids. So we prepared this course on all these topics that you see on the screen. You see only 15 topics there. 14 of them are almost ready. Half of them are already being published and used and taught. The others are relatively newer topics which we are still working on. There were when we started, there were like 4 or 5 topics. Then we kept adding, and we have like 50 plus topics we can work on, or so many things. But to be effective and efficient, and without getting carried away by it, we reduced the overall number of topics to what to make it more concise to what is the core issue. So these are the topics, 15 topics that you see. So on every topic, we have prepared a content, a separate content on every topic. Like family, we have a full set of content, a full content. Secrets, we have a content. Secrets, why we are talking about secrets? Because kids are told that they have to keep secret from parents. Similarly, honesty is related to that same thing, that whatever you are learning in school, don't hide it. Tell it to you need to tell to the parents. Nature, because in the name of nature, these things come to the kids, and we have to tell them exactly what actually nature means. When this thing is not logical anymore, it's when it's not natural. What are genders? Or what is actually the meaning of gender? And because kids are told, not just kids, actually, even you will find this thing in your workplace. You're told what is your gender, what was your gender at the time of birth, and the thing that is now the language you will see at different places will be doctor assigned gender. So now when you are born, whatever you were, actually they say, well, this is your doctor assigned gender. So doctor assigned you the gender male, but it doesn't mean that you have to be male. You can be anyone. So these kind of things. So we have a topic gender, and kids, this is what kids are told directly. So similarly, choices, kids are given choices, or diversity, inclusion, feelings, what is our identity? Why we are talking about identity? Because kids are told you can identify as whatever you want. So I'm a male, but I identify as a female. And if you identify as a female, then you can do whatever females do. And you can go to a female bathroom or change room and these kind of things. So similar, that's why we are talking about that, but in a way which, so we talk about it in a way which we can talk with kids, because someone else is talking about the same thing in a very, very crude manner. We will talk about it in an Islamic manner, but with logic. Similarly, lucky numbers, colors, wrong body, choice, equality. Now, lucky numbers and colors is also very interesting, because kids, they are when kids are not even going to school, they learn about colors and numbers, and there are programs on Netflix, on YouTube, in books where they teach counting and similar things. My son, when he was, I don't know whether he was in school or he was not going to school at that time, but he was talking to me about lucky numbers, and I told him there's no lucky number, but he insisted. So I said, okay, what is the lucky number? He said, 7 is a lucky number. And that's where the bell rings. I said, why 7? Because, the rainbow has 7 colors. So I said, why are you talking about 7? He said, because the color, a number block says that 7 is lucky. And number block is what? It's just a TV program that teaches kids how to count. So I said, okay, show me. And I saw that in that program, there were numbers from 0 to 9. All of them were made like red blocks, except number 7 that was made with a rainbow color. So, so the kid was told that this rainbow color block is actually a lucky number, 7, and he was also told in that same program that they are lucky because they love everyone and they don't go to war, which is the slogan of the LGBT people. So this is what we are doing. We have prepared this thing. We prepared this course on these topics. The course that we have prepared, we this is made with the input from I cannot tell you how many people contributed because there are so many. I don't have the count. A lot of people contributed to this. A lot of resources were used to prepare this course. Some books were consulted, which were written on the same topic by, I named Dr. Asif Irani before. So many ulama's lectures were read and listened to, and we got hints and points from there. Many people were involved in reviewing the course. So this course is something that the community has prepared for the community. It is from community and for the community. So everything is free. It's a free course material that we give to teachers, we give to parents, and we are trying to give it to masajid and maktab, madrasas, Islamic schools if they agree to use it, evening schools, all Islamic evening schools, weekend schools. We are giving it to them, and the whole course is free. Um, when we give it to them, in this course, and why we are focusing on Islamic community only, Muslim community only, is because we tried to work with other communities in the beginning, but there were things I can talk about when you ask, if you ask. But there was a reason that we had to step back and focus on Muslim community only at this time. Now, what is in this course? I already explained the topics, but and I also mentioned that this is based on logic and reasoning, but it is with Islamic backdrop. And the way it is, we have used the language, the wordings, in a way where it will remove the doubts that are created by this gender ideology. So it will remove the doubts among kids, parents, even adults. Although the course is focused on kids, it would remove those doubts which are caused by the ideology and we don't know how to respond to. So you will, when the kids read these things, when the kids are taught these things, they will know what's wrong with the thing that is told to them, and why something that looks logical, why is it not logical. So they are from inside, they are ready to face these kind of things and address and answer and protect themselves from the harm caused by this ideology. So they know why we cannot agree with it. So that's the focus of this course. Now, we also made sure that the language we use in this course is politically correct. So there is nothing in it which somebody can say that, well, you are teaching hate. No, there is no room for hate. So we are using language which is politically correct, which will not put kids or parents or teachers in trouble at all. We have even reviewed it with some legal teams. The language used is based on the age that we are using it for, so it's age appropriate. And there are different versions of this course. Now, why we have different versions is because there are some people who need more traditional way of teaching, of course, like books. So we have published books for that. And again, this is not publicized, but we keep it with ourselves. And when we have to give it to a masjid or a school, Islamic school, or any maktab or madrasa, we give it to them. Or if parents want it, we can give it to parents. We can give the PDF of that to parents. Then there is another version of the same, which is a non-traditional version, which is more innovative version. It's in the form of PowerPoint. So this is for those who are okay with teaching through the laptop, who can handle PowerPoint. It has animations, it has stories, it has videos, it has songs. and it has activities, on-screen activities. So this is for the people who are okay using the PowerPoint. The book version is of course much simpler, much shorter, and very easy to teach, and very easy for those who don't have time. Schools or any madrasa who don't have time. It's easy for them to teach. And the whole course that we have prepared, all these versions, we have two complete sets. One whole set is for much younger kids, age 4 to 7. Another full set is made for kids who are 8 to 12. And I can talk about, if you have any question about why we are using, we are targeting these age groups, I will talk about that later. If you want to know. And then I can also talk about what we are doing for parents and what we are doing for kids who are older, or I would rather say youth, 13 plus. Now, going back to the course which is in the form of book, that course or PDF, it comprises of very short chapters. Sometimes it's less than two pages, just 1.5 page. And it's so that it is very easy to teach. So in any educational setup, if somebody says, well, we don't have time, we have so many classes, or we have only one class a week, it's still done in a way which they can just talk about this thing only 5 minutes every week or every month. So this little bit, keeps going to the kids, and they will keep learning. So you can implement it through in any classes, in any Islamic classes, in any Akhlaq classes, in any sort of classes. And in this, let me give you also. So this is what you see. These are two books. So let me show you what is in the book. Let me stop here. Go back to. So this is. I'm going to open one of the books and just show what is in each chapter. Okay, so this book is okay. So let me make it fit tight. So this book is for kids who are age 4 to 7, and if I go to the next page, okay. So you see it says for kids age 7 and under. And here the revision that we keep make changes. We keep making improvement as with time. Whenever we get some more information, some new ideas, we keep modifying it. So right now the latest version I have is 1.4. So if I go to the chapters, this one has only 8 chapters. I'm working on the newer version with all the 15 chapters, inshallah, 14 or 15 chapters, inshallah. So if I go to the first chapter, the whole chapter is 1 page and this 1.5 page. So it's very short. Anybody can teach it if in a few minutes. If in 15-20 minutes you can cover the whole chapter. And if you say, well, we don't even have 15 minutes, well, you can just talk about 3 or 4 points to the kids one time. Or if teachers have these books and the teachers have read it, or the parents have read it, when a kid comes to you and talks about something about the choice, if you have already read this thing, you can talk to your kid, or you can talk in the class, respond with the logical narrative that you already have through this book. So you don't, if you cannot spend time on a class, this is for the teachers or schools. But for parents, if you have this thing, if you have any doubt, you can open this and you can read it with the kid, and you can answer questions. If you cannot find an answer, I'm always there, inshallah. You can talk to me and I can help you. Now, what I wanted to show here was one chapter has only from here to here. This is one chapter. So short, just giving you a condensed logical narrative. In between, you have a question only. here, this is to make sure that when somebody teaches this at home or in a class, they make it interactive. We want to make sure kids are they are attached, they are involved, and they are in communication with you. So we want them to speak up. We want to ask them something, and if they give you the wrong answer, the bad answer, that's even better. So you can tell them why it is wrong, why it is bad, and what is the right answer. So this is such a short chapter. After that, you only have a reference to in Quran about the same topic, and then on the next page, um, there it's a section for in every chapter which is called situation handling. I don't know if you can see it, but let me make it bigger. All it tells you is when you are in a situation, when somebody is talking to you about this thing in a certain way, how should you respond? What should be your answer? If you remember the answer, then do this. If you don't remember the answer, what should you do? If you don't have any clue what to do at that point, then this is how you can handle the situation. So that concludes one chapter. So make it fit height again. So that concludes one chapter, and uh, this is this. So the same thing you will find for every chapter, like diversity. This is one chapter. It's less than 2 pages, which ends. It has more points here actually. Page 1 and page 2 ends here. Over here, so 1.5 page. Then we have questions and Quranic verse and situation handling. So this is. And let me go back to the presentation. So these are the books. We will for PDF version we can give anybody who wants. Of course, if we know who we are giving to, no, we don't want to pass on to someone we don't know. If someone says, well, I want to buy the hard copy, then we can also do that. We can get it printed and give it to them. So this is all we have. What are we teaching through this course is there's a highlight of the narrative. What do we you can read it. I will not go through the whole thing because it will take time, but this is just to give you a flavor of what it is. So we tell them what in diversity, we tell them what is diversity, what is not diversity, and when we are told to accept something else which is against our religion, it is against diversity. You are actually killing the diversity. And if you are telling me to keep my parents out of my decisions, my choice, then you are actually excluding. You are not talking about inclusion, you are doing exclusion. If you are telling me to agree or support somebody which is against my religion, you are excluding my religion, so that's not inclusion. Things like this. So we address it in a way where we use the same logic, use the same arguments, the same language, the same way, but it supports our narrative. Similarly, we talk about gender, secrets, flag. When there's a flag and everybody is said to stand for the flag, what's the problem with it? Why we don't want to stand for a flag, like a pride flag? What's wrong with it without getting into trouble? And what safety in school means, what is awareness? We need to be aware of different communities around us, and we need to respect them, but we don't have to submit to their ideology. So how to say that? So these kind of things are that we talk about in this whole thing. I can these pages I can pass on whoever asks for it. So what we did, we started working on this in 2023. And so far, our success is that we are at a point where we have started giving books to parents. We have given books to many madrasas, and at least 2 madrasas we know that they are using them in Canada. In one, they are using for quite some time. In the other one, they are in process of implementing. In some other places, they said they will use. I hope they are using in 2 madrasas in USA, in Dallas and in Virginia. They said that they are using it. We also conducted special classes for kids across the GTA, about 40 to 50 classes in different masajid. Some of them were monthly sessions in two masajid in Ajax and Curtis. This course has been seen by many ulama and community members from masajid, and they recommend this. Some of the names you can see on the screen, and some of them are actually helping us promoting the program actively. Some of them are just there for reference. If you talk to them, they will talk about it. And this, let me. So, and there are testimonials from some
Aziz
people
Saab,
from different
we are
massages.
reaching to the time limit. Sorry to disturb you. So we
Sorry,
have only 10 minutes left.
so say again.
So we have only 10 minutes,
Oh, really?
to
Okay.
conclude.
Let me stop this. Any questions? Yeah.
जी अस्सलाम वालेकुम
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
सॉरी आई थिंक जावेद साहब in front of you maybe Javed साहब go ahead
Alaikum.
जी, अस्सलाम वालेकुम.
Faisal,
जी,
can
जी,
you guys
please.
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, it's very informative and impressive. Some of the slide you just mentioned, the stories are depressing, but your action plan seems to be good. Can you take up to a higher level, such as main media, where people could make short films, short videos,
Yeah,
and other places where you could probably educate the children through the cartoons, through
yeah,
the programs. Take Can you take it? I know
yeah.
you cannot go against the law,
No,
and
no,
you
no. We
cannot
are,
change the law. It is
yeah,
very difficult.
right.
But to counter the problem, you have made a very good action plan. But to me, if you can take up to a higher level where you could reach out to most of the people who are concerned. I know parents and concerned about their kids and all these issues.
Yeah, let
But
me address that, Javed sir.
yeah,
So yeah, I got
so
your question.
did you understand what I'm trying
Yeah,
to say? There are
yeah, yeah, yeah.
programs for the children on YouTube, on different channels, different places. What if you can take up your action plan without contradicting the law,
Yeah,
without encountering a kind of battle?
yes,
Just
Javed
convey
sir.
your message
Sorry to interrupt you.
effectively.
Sorry to interrupt you. So I got your question. I understand, and let me answer that. And sorry to interrupt you because I think I was told that there were 10 minutes left. I would rather have more questions. And if you can extend the time, Ali Bhai, for question Q&A, I would appreciate. The answer to that is yes. We try to do it. We want to do it in a way where we can do it without getting into trouble. We have some plans, but we don't have resources. We try to engage some young folks to work on this, but they get busy with their high schools, their universities, and then things stop. We have some ideas. We are trying to have somebody who has time to put together this thing in the form of AI generated videos that we can put on YouTube, and everybody can access those. That's one thing. There was another idea from my son. Actually, he wanted to do it, but he couldn't get time. He wanted to make a Jeopardy-like game that has these kind of things, and that would be very helpful. But again, resources and time. So if anybody from, let's say, if from this group or any other place, if somebody can work with us, we would be very happy, and we will pass on everything to them and work with them to make those things, inshallah.
Faisal, there are organizations who could do these things. I don't know if you were able to contact them or not, but I know there are organizations who could help you in spreading your action plan and
So
teaching the.
my request is if you could please connect me with them, because I have talked to many organizations across USA and Canada, in North America, many of them. And I will not talk about anything which is negative or counterproductive. So maybe we can talk about that offline. But if you know those organizations, please do connect me with them. And right
I
now we
will
are
come back.
just,
Faisal,
yeah,
I'll come back to
Faisal,
you.
you have
right.
any
I'll come back.
data for effective kids in the GTA area or something? Any
I
complaint or
saw
registered complaint or something?
No,
Any officially?
I don't have register. I don't have data. There was some data, like when we started working on it, I had some broad data from somebody, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I didn't keep track of it. But yeah, what I know is that I have heard so many stories from people I know, like within our community, even within Ajax and Picking area, I hear from people, sisters or brothers or groups where a female tells me, well, I'm in that group, and somebody just posted that there's a girl in Pickering High School. She has identified as a male. Her parents don't know because it was kept confidential. And
What about the response of the Islamic school like ICNA, ISNA, and the Markham? There are
ICNA,
many big organ.
yeah, let me tell. So ISNA didn't respond well. ICNA responded. I spent a lot of time with ICNA to communicate. They promised me so many times that they will do something about it, but it never happened. I mean, they say that they will do. A couple of brothers in ICNA, they are very passionate about it. They tried, but for some reason, after for certain things, they start working on something else, and they just forget and they don't give priority.
So what do you think about why?
I didn't want to talk about the negative things, but all I can tell you is people have their own priorities, which are sometimes not aligned with the community needs. Our program is not something that people can get credit for, because we are not doing it in a way to give credits and people can say that, wow, we are doing such a big thing, that give us a sponsorship, or they don't get the name. Right. So there are things like that too. So the people have their own annual list of things that they want to do because this gives them some exposure. That's one of the reasons.
And what do you think about you connect any other community, non-Muslim community?
Many. You mean outside of Muslim community?
No, non-Muslim community.
Non-Muslim community. Yes. We actually started working with the non-Muslim communities. We wanted to do that, but we found that. For example, some Christian communities. One of the pastors I was talking about, I said, "Why are you guys not doing anything?" He said, "Well, because we are waiting for Jesus." So I talked to these guys. Some of them didn't like it because a lot of churches support LGBT. One of the church people in an event, I talked to them and they didn't like what I was talking about. I went to, there was one, there's a Action for Canada. There's a organization which is Christian organization. They work on it. I went to their seminar and we tried to work with them, but they have a bigger Islamophobia than to deal with. They saw us. We were there as a small group of people, 4 people, and they with one female with a hijab. And the leader of their group started talking against Muslims and saying that these are Islamist countries are the ones who are propagating LGBT. These kind of things. So we had to step back and we had to focus on our community first. So yeah, there maybe I tried, but they didn't want to work with us.
And can you talk about any current parliamentarians? Something else? Can you mention
parliamentarians?
Someone?
Yeah, parliamentarians, especially many of them might be close to you. So I didn't want to say that, but liberals and NDPs, they will do nothing. They will discourage you from doing this because they support this ideology very openly. You can see even in Thorncliffe, we were the ones who helped Kathleen win and become the premier. So our community is so much invested in these politicians that they know that this is wrong, but they will support them rather than you. And conservatives will do lip service but never do anything because this brainwashing is affecting them too. And within conservatives, they will use it for political reasons, but they won't do anything because because they have people within their party also who support these things.
So there is an organization by the name NCCM. They generally do like legal battles.
I know.
They are very active. By the way, they are very active. Did you ever get a chance to talk to them?
Yes, I talked to them. For some reasons I cannot go into the details, but they are very good. However,
generally they are good.
But but they have some limitations, and they cannot do things that we want. They cannot. I won't blame them. There's a reason. I can talk about it offline, but they are very good, and they have helped me. Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll if I come across anything helpful, I'll share with you. I will. Keep it
The
up.
biggest help, thank
Keep it
you.
up.
The biggest help from from you and people would be to spread awareness, let people know that we
Yep.
have to have this thing. We need to have this narrative, we need to have this content, we have to use it in our homes, and convince the school, the masajid, convince the madaris and makatib that they need to, and Islamic schools, that they need to use it, implement it, because this is the problem. This is the question of our future generations. So this is where I need your help a lot.
Yeah, definitely. We connect with others, non-Muslim community. We know some of them, and
Yeah.
we try to our other alumni, right? That's what awareness. First, they can awareness, and then we create for the meeting or something, and they can push back
Please.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
please.
definitely.
Yeah. So there
Thank you,
are
Faisal.
different.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Good job, Faisal.
Yeah,
Good
Faisal.
job. Keep it
Thank
up,
you.
man.
Thank you. Thank
It's
you.
nice work. Though it's not, I know it's not paid. It's all volunteer. That's good work. Keep it up.
Thank you very much. I just need your, just keep helping me, and inshallah, we will do
We
better.
will show.
And
We'll show.
Faisal, share the PDF, which if possible, so will I share for our alumni members, if possible.
Yeah, sure,
Okay.
inshallah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Azim Sahab. Thank you very much for your very valuable information and education for parents and kids. And I believe that you will continue this work, and hopefully, we go in the right direction. So thank you very much for everyone to join our seminar, and I think we can call you again to complete the remaining part of your slides. So you can update everything, and maybe after 6, 7 months or 9 months, we can join again with you. Meanwhile, I would like to request everyone to just promote this ideology, what Mr. Azim and discuss here. I think this is very important for our society as a Muslim society. We have to keep safe ourselves and our children. So thank you very much for everyone to join us, and have a good day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
Walaikum salam.
Assalamu
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you
for
so
everyone.
much.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Hafiz.
Assalamu alaikum.